We got everything going. How's it going? Welcome to MCU Mondays. My name's David. I am your host, where we talk about Marvel and everything Marvel related, and the movies and the games and comic books and everything else. With me tonight also is my co-host Debbie. How are you, Debbie?
I'm doing fine. How are you?
It's Monday, and Monday's almost over. So
Does somebody have a case of the Mondays?
That's
yeah,
every Monday.
every Monday, every Monday. with now I can't talk. With us all also tonight is Mr. John Ambrose. How are you, sir?
I'm doing fantastic. Thanks for asking. Excited to talk about some Secret Invasion tonight.
I still have not finished reading the comic book. It's on my list of things.
It's worth the read, but the direction they're taking with the series, I think you could take your time because I don't think it's really going to matter.
I think it's more of a and we've discussed this before to where, you know, if they did every one of the Marvel movies exactly like the comic books, people would know what to expect. And this is a different universe, and they're going to tell their own stories. With Secret Invasion is a lot like they've done with a lot of other things, to where they've said, okay, the general premise is that the Skrulls are invading and they can shapeshift, and we don't know who to trust. So
the only thing that has really upset me about this, though, is that Disney has had the rights to X-Men and Fantastic Four for 3 years now, and this was a perfect segue for both of those properties to get in there. And I mean, that is the one thing that is really just annoying me, is that what are you going to do with these properties?
We've still got one more episode. They've touched on it a little bit in Miss Marvel. There was another one too where they talked about mutations, and I can't remember which one it was. I know for sure Miss Marvel was one of them where they talked about mutant stuff, and then we've got obviously, hey, Deadpool 3 is coming out, and we already know Wolverine's going to appear in Deadpool 3, and Deadpool is now part of the MCU. So,
I mean,
I'm not sure what exactly how you could segue them in. I think it would be neat if we said, you know, we touched on Miss Marvel being a mutant in the Miss Marvel series, and we've got this new movie, The Marvels, coming out, which stars Miss Marvel and Captain Marvel and Monica Rambeau. But where did Rogue from the X-Men get her powers from? Was from Captain Marvel.
Yes. We have a comment.
I'm not watching the comments. I'm a horrible host. Johnny Lynch is on. How are you, Johnny? Let me get your comment up here. Just FYI, y'all are not showing up on YouTube Live. Oh no. We should be. I don't know why we wouldn't be.
Still shows. Nope, we're not.
Huh.
Says it's still waiting on us.
What?
So where are we recording from?
Where are we recording to?
I guess we're recording if it's Johnny Lynch, it's his Facebook profile, so I guess we're going to Facebook.
All right. Let me look at something real quick. But anyway, there are obviously going to be opportunities. Like I said, I wouldn't mind seeing mine says live on Geek News Now official.
Mine doesn't.
Now, are you going on yours? I gotta be careful because I can't click on this. Are you going on yours off of the? Mine's just on the regular YouTube page. It wasn't a scheduled thing. So,
well, I'm on the scheduled thing, and
that's probably that may be why we had some scheduling issues this weekend. So, I need a new keyboard because I have found out that like slowly most of my keys are stopping working. So I've got to go get a new keyboard at some point. That's just on me. So I didn't get anything scheduled. Johnny, I'm showing that we are on YouTube. It's just not on the link that was broadcast out. Just go to the GNN.
Oh, here it is. Okay.
Here it is. He found it. Good job. Awesome. Technical difficulties.
So, but what kind of bothers me about? I'm sorry, you were in the middle of a thought.
No. That's fine. I was actually going to say, you know what? Before we get any further into this, let's do our theme song because we've always got to do the theme song.
Let's make it official.
An homage to Chris since he's the one that wrote this, and we thank you for that, sir. So let's do the theme song, then we'll get back. Always a blast. Always a blast. Again, thank you, Chris. Chris Cassidy, aka Vase. If you ever see him, thank you. We appreciate the song. We love it. And I'm still working on my video editing skills. Again, bad keyboard, it makes things hard. So, anyway, I'm sorry, John, you were saying.
I said one of the particularly frustrating things as a longtime comic book fan, though, is it's like they're teasing us with the Fantastic Four. I have the same coffee mug, by the way. Excellent choice, sir. It makes sense to do the scrolls in Captain Marvel because that ties in heavily, so you can't really get too mad at that. But what really frustrates me is Kang, major villain for the Fantastic Four. They put him in Ant-Man. And it's kind of like you guys are blowing opportunities on this, man. You've had the property, you've had the chance to map it out. It's like, come on, Feige, get with the program. But what I will say in your defense to the what's it called? Sorry, I lost my brain for a second. But I will say in defense of you saying that, yeah, the universes are separate. It is true because people treat comics differently than they treat normal books. Like if you watch the Moby Dick adaptation, people aren't going to be like, well, they didn't include Starbuck and they didn't include this and they didn't include that. And, you know, you got to crack a couple of eggs. So you're not going to have
everything.
You're not going to have everything. So that was my 2 cents on what we were talking about before all this.
I was going to say, I think was trying to remember. There have been very few movies translated from books, for lack of a better word, that have actually. I mean, of Mice and Men with Gary Sinise and John Malkovich.
That was Malkovich, yeah.
That was a pretty decent translation to screen. The same with it wasn't all there, but enough of it was to where it made it decent. Was The Green Mile with Tom Hanks and Michael Clark Duncan. Those both translated very well, or not translated. I say that wrong. They moved those into the movie format and didn't lose much of the story. Didn't leave out much of anything. Most everything was there. So,
Last of the Mohicans was decent. They left some things out, but it was But if you put everything in, like The Godfather, if you put everything in The Godfather, like there was so much details, you can make a movie out of every chapter of The Godfather.
Yeah,
the amount of detail that went into that book.
So again, taking their own things, but let's talk Secret Invasion. We're already here.
Yes.
So we are now on episode 5. We are next week is, this week, I should say, this Wednesday is the season finale. I don't think we have a title for it. This particular title is called Harvest. I was thinking something along the lines of Pod People. I wasn't exactly thinking of
the Body Snatchers.
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
they kind of are.
Yes.
Agreed.
Totally agreed. But and I was telling Luke this the other day. As far as all of that goes, I think they are doing the wrong thing with Kang. You know, in the first three phases where Thanos was the big bad, he didn't really make an appearance until the end of the first Avengers movie, and even then, he was just kind of in the background. You knew he was there, and you knew he was the one running things, but he was kind of in the background. And it wasn't really until Infinity War when he made his move and he stepped out into the light and said, "Okay, here's what we're going to do," and crushes things. Right. So in this one, it's like, okay, so the new bad's going to be Kang, and boom, here he is right at the first, and we're going to have a whole movie around him, and it's like, did you do that right?
And it's the old adage: do you want a nice guy or do you want someone who knows what they're doing? Because the person behind all of those movies was Ike Perlmutter. And yeah, Ike Perlmutter's mean and he's a nasty guy, but he was making good movies and he was making good choices. Kevin Feige's a very nice guy. I can't say anything bad about him personally. People seem to like him, but he's not making the best decisions as opposed to Perlmutter, who was really, really putting a good product out there going into phase 3. So, I mean, do you want it done right or do you want everybody to, feel good?
Yeah.
You
know, we'll get as much content as we can out there. So anyway, this one kicks off at
the hospital.
At the hospital, yeah, and Fury is there with the president. He's trying to talk to him. They're taking him into surgery, and feel like pretty much everything since after Endgame has been severely lacking in direction. Again, agreed. Mm-hmm. I think they were quantity versus quality. They wanted to put out as much content as they could, and it kind of came back and bit them. But anyway, so we start at the hospital. We've got Fury telling the president, it's not the Russians. And in fact, he even tells him, stay away from Rhodey. If you see Colonel Rhodes, you just stay away from him, because obviously he knows better. Move on to Garrick, and we start to see some dissension in his ranks.
Very briefly.
Yeah. He and even before he started fighting them, it was they said, he went up there and, okay, well, we're going to have to alter the plan. Well, we were supposed to kill the president, and that didn't or you were supposed to kill him. You were supposed to do it, and that didn't happen. And he said, well, if you would have stolen the thing I wanted you to steal initially, blah, blah, blah. And so they're back and forth.
Yeah, it seems like a lot of the Skrulls are not happy with how he's handling things. Well, that pagan guy, that's his name, the one that got recruited. He was saying, I went to all these places that you said the harvest would be, and they weren't.
Yeah.
So yeah. And then when he got Grooted, then everybody was just like, what the hell? This guy's going off the edge.
He's killing off his support system. He's destroying his support system. This is one of those. I think this is one of those things, because right now he is like he is what they call it the Super Skrull. He is the Super Skrull, because as far as we know right now, he's got the Extremis, and he has Groot. I am Groot, but we don't know what else he's got, what other kind of cocktail he's got floating around in him. And if I was a betting man, I would say he's probably the only one that has like everything, the full gambit, versus, okay, you're going to have just the Groot powers, and you're just going to have, but I'll have them all. That way I'll be the one ring to rule them all. So.
Well, and then he just insults everybody and says, you are voiceless, you are nameless, you're faceless. And I'm like, what's this guy's end game?
Yeah, I know,
you're
right?
Insulting everybody. Now you're calling a strike on the compound to wipe out
All of them.
Everybody, yeah, including the humans that are in that are being held hostage in those little machines.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's like,
I mean, I think.
is he just got a vendetta against Fury, and that's all he's worried about, or?
See, I'm wondering that too, because even okay, so he talks to Rhodey on the phone. He tells him, go. I want you to wipe out New Scrollus. Just for you, Debbie. We all know who's really behind all of this.
It's
Mephisto.
gonna happen eventually. I'll probably be dead by that time, but it'll happen.
Get it?
And you'll remember me.
Yeah, right after the Alpha Flight TV series I've been waiting for.
Yeah. So he calls Rhodey and he says, wipe out Scrollus, and even Rhodey, I think, has some misgivings about this. He's like, really? Are you sure? Do we want to do that? And so Rhodey ends up at the hospital. Fury threatens him, which is the guy with the broken arm that is Rhodey's bodyguard. Is he a Skrull too?
I don't know,
because
I've seen a lot of talk about that on the internet. Some people were saying no.
Because he talks a lot about Skrulls in front of this guy.
I mean, I'm betting on it because honestly, if we're bringing like real politics into this, if Fury did that to a presidential advisor in real life, the advisor wouldn't have a chance to tell anybody to stop. He'd be shot.
Yeah.
So I'm betting that that it's a crew of Skrulls in there.
So it wouldn't surprise me. Oh yeah, he's Mephisto. All right. There you go. Thank you, Johnny. Appreciate it. Thank you for clarifying for us.
But I think with the Gravik thing, why he's going crazy is this is an espionage movie, and it's kind of a throwback to the old movies, and in all those old stories and movies, like the absolute power would corrupt, and the leaders would become paranoid. And that's what would happen. The rank and file would slowly be eliminated.
Yeah.
So I mean, I think it's kind of a throwback to the classic espionage stories.
And he even was Debbie? Were you the one saying it's a personal thing against Fury? Yeah. See, I think that ties into it a lot too, because even when Fury leaves Rhodey. Even when Fury leaves Rhodey, he says, "Tell Gravik I'm coming for him," and Rhodey snaps back with, "Oh, he's waiting on you," or something like that. So
tell him yourself.
Yeah, tell him yourself. Yeah. So I'm thinking it's more of a personal thing, but again, that I'm curious now if it is a personal vendetta against Fury. What did Fury do to him?
It's got to come out.
Because even in the past, when we've seen Fury interact with Garrick in the past, he's been nothing but nice to him. I mean, he hasn't done anything that would cause an upset like that. So,
I mean, the whole premise has been that, here it's been 30, 40 years and they still don't have a home planet. I mean, that was the premises at the beginning of the show, which granted, yeah, I'd be pissed too, but it's like now as the further we go into show, it's like there's something else going on outside of the not having a home planet.
What's gonna happen is because I love that British lady, and they talked about it a little bit in the car. What's the British lady's name?
Sonia.
Sonia. They were talking about in the car how Gravik participated in Operation Harvest, and I'm willing to bet that it was something like something as simple, because storytelling always boils down, and a good storytelling always boils down to a simple element. And I think Gravik saw Fury as a father figure, or possibly, and felt like he was betrayed. And something happened, and feels like Fury turned his back on him. That's usually a common element. And
I think didn't Fury say that the collection effort was headed up by Garrick? Didn't Garrick ran the show on that one. Fury slew his bounty hunter father Jango
Why
Fett.
collect their blood?
That was not another time, another place. That was a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. Ha ha ha. But why? What now? Why collect the blood of the Avengers?
Yeah. What's the purpose? Why would Fury have the blood collected in the first place?
I have no idea. I have
Damn
no. Why? Well, why would Fury have collected all of the hydro weapons, or Shield for that matter, have collected all the hydro weapons from World War II that Cap found in the first Avengers movie? Well, we need a nuclear deterrent. We need something to and this is well, we want the blood of all the heroes in case one of them dies, then we can just maybe bring it back to life, clone him, blah 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 blah.
I mean, it's an example of like the shady things government does. Look at Operation Paperclip. Why would we do that? You do it's goes on and on. And yeah, it's probably they needed the DNA to see if they could create a next generation of Avengers or something like that.
Which funny you should mention a next generation. If there was there's a movie on Disney Plus, and is it the Young Avengers? Maybe, but it's like it's like all the kids of the Avengers. So Thor had a daughter, and Cap and Black Widow had like a super soldier, and they're fighting Ultron because Ultron killed everybody except for Barton and Banner, I think.
He killed everybody and then got distracted by his own monologue.
Yeah. So anyway, that was I enjoyed the movie. I thought it was really good.
I didn't see it. What's it called? Young Avengers?
I think it's called Young Avengers. I think it's on Disney Plus. So anyway, anywho, so they go. Let me think. Where were we?
Not Operation Paperclip. Harvest, Gravik.
Yeah, Gravik, Harvest.
Why would they do
Sonya.
that?
Sonya finds. So there was a picture on Sonya's file that she was looking at, and it's
the SIS director.
Yes.
Weatherby.
We find out he's a Skrull, which we kind of knew. Everybody's a Skrull. Sure, why not? Is Sonya a Skrull?
I don't know, but I like her
Moxie?
demented sense of humor. It's great.
Best, I think she's the best character to come into the MCU in a really long time.
She really is, and a lot of people sit there and say, what's her name from WandaVision? Agatha.
Yeah.
That's and I'm like, oh, this Agatha ain't got nothing on her. She's great. I love her.
And it's just the delivery and the execution of the lines. Like when she's interrogating and she cuts the dude's finger off, she's like, "Oh, well, we solved this problem now, didn't we?"
Yeah,
and like just throws.
She has a smile on her face,
and she doesn't
stop with a smile.
And she doesn't stop. Okay, so she goes on and she finds the lab where they're creating all of these super Skrulls, and there's two Skrulls there. And one of them, and it's a male and a female, and the male takes the female hostage and says, got the gun to her head. And he says, well, Nigel, why don't you just put that gun down and we'll talk? Or no, she says something along that lines. And he goes, no, my name's not Nigel. And she goes, oh, no, Nigel's the guy with the silencer right behind you. It's oh, there he is. There he is. I was like, oh, my God. Dave Vermillion's on. Look at this. The Grand Poobah's here. She brings the funny. My ringtone is still Agatha all along. It's too catchy. Well, there you go. I kind of want to go watch WandaVision again now so I can see Agatha, because I still don't think Sonya ain't got nothing on her, or vice versa. But anyway, so and then she makes some kind of deal with the she goes, you're going to tell me all about this and blah, 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 blah. And the guy was like, "No, we're not," and she just shoots him just out of nowhere. I wasn't talking to you. She just kills him. I'm like, jeez. And she's just smiling, and she's just, I'm calm, cool, and collective. And pow, you're dead. And no, I'm gonna crack a joke about that. Ha 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 ha.
And I guarantee you, someone at Warner Brothers is watching this, and they're like, "This is what we wanted Amanda Waller to be. Why can't we do this?"
Yes,
Like,
this is what Suicide Squad needed. So, let me think. Fury. We go back to the house, and let's see the. I can't think of his wife's name.
I forgot. Are you talking about when
Vara or Scylla or Priscilla? He calls her
Priscilla.
3 different things. So
Fury's wife, and and Talos's daughter,
Gaia.
Gaia. Yes, not Kira. Gaia. Yes, we do. think. I'm getting old. My mind is not as sharp as it used to be. So anyway, they're there, and we kind of get a. They're talking back and forth to each other, and we kind of get a feel as to why she did what she did, and it was kind of a poke fun at the younger generation. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean any offense by that. Yes, you did. You're young and you don't know any better.
well, she kind of insulted her, like
She really did.
because she asked her, like she asked her father, don't you want to be in your own skin? And that was, to her, that was kind of an insult.
Yeah.
Because she's making the sacrifices to be with the one person she wants to be with, and Gaia just kind of
doesn't understand that.
Yeah, she's a young punk.
But she's there really to help to get the because she wants to bury her father. They get attacked, and it's all of Garrick's men. They mess up the house, but they tend to fight them off. So
really well executed action scene.
Yes, a lot of pew pews in this one too.
Yeah.
So
William
They
Morgan
were
will not
all
be
human
disappointed.
because none of them bled purple.
yeah, I was gonna say none of them. I don't.
That was all red blooded.
I'm wondering if that was a one of our people in power, and we're just gonna say, "Hey, there's something bad happening here. Go get them."
But he sent a bunch of his guys in the beginning, though, so that might be an oversight, or it might not. I don't know. Because he called the order at the base and said, "You're going to take your people and you're going to go take her out."
Well, even the SIS director, he bled red too.
So did Gaia when she was shot.
He bled red, but he still turned green when he was hurt because his hand turned green.
But what determines when they blew? When they bleed purple?
I have no idea. Huh.
Maybe the blood being red is a defense mechanism so they can remain human if they get cut. And then,
maybe it's one of those things to where we have taken the guise of this person for so long that we're starting to take on their traits. Physically, we've altered our DNA to look like this person, and now down at the core, our DNA is changing as well.
I'll say one of the things that disappointed me, though, was killing off Beto. Because it was like you introduce this character and you're slowly developing him, and now I feel nothing when the character goes away. Because it's like you didn't really develop him. It's just kind of like, oh, I'm supposed to feel bad for this guy. That's a shame. Well, anyway.
Yeah.
So.
Well, and that was the one that what's his name slit his throat, right? That Garrett got him.
Yeah, he was the guy that came in the first episode, and Gaia bought him in, and he was.
She says, "Let me see your real skin," kind of thing, and So, no, there were no Canadian scrolls. Ah, but no, they gotta I, they didn't really develop him. You're right, but just the way, I mean, the way he was used when Garrick, because Garrick was fighting like everybody at that point. They sent a bunch of people to take out Garrick, and of course Garrick is using his superpowers and he fights everybody off, and it finally gets to the point of he's in the street and everybody's like running scared and they're holding their kids back and everything, and he's almost like, take a run at me, anybody want to try challenge my authority, how dare you.
Yeah, they should have went for the head.
I mean, you just watched the guy, Mr. Fantastic, his hand through someone's chest. Did you really think hitting him with a chair was going to be effective?
Yeah, I know, right? So it was, and then he basically killed him as the way I saw it was as a show of superiority. Like, I'm better than everybody else, and I can kill when I need to,
and to intimidate everybody else.
Oh, of course,
this is what happens if you go against me.
Right. So, Fury goes to Finland. I was going to say Switzerland. I'm glad somebody was paying attention.
That's why I've got my notes.
Goes to Finland. He meets what's her name again? They go to. Who says Canadian Skrulls? I figure just alien blood tastes like maple syrup. Don't you judge me. Just say it.
I don't know how that deduction is made, but okay.
I'll take it. Sure, whatever. You find me an alien and we'll drink its blood together and we'll see if it tastes like maple syrup. How about that?
And I will watch you guys do that and try not to vomit.
Well, if they bleed purple, it's probably like a Grimace milkshake.
Maybe it's a Fanta. A grape Fanta.
Grape Fanta.
So anyway, they go to Finland and they have this cool little monologue in front of Fury's grave.
One of many.
And I'm glad he said that because, the first time you saw one of these was at the end of not Civil War, Winter Soldier. Because everybody thought he was dead. And it was like, Did they fly out to Finland just to go look at his grave? But no, they got it explained a lot better. And then this was something I didn't get. He goes into the mausoleum there. And, okay, first off, he gets the harvest. He has the harvest. It's hidden in his tombstone. And he tells Sonya, he's like, hey, yeah, I've got a bunch of these around all over the place in case I need one. Then he goes into the mausoleum and he opens up like 4 or 5 different things. And I'm like, everything you pulled out of there was small. You could have just put it into one thing. Yeah, it's like an eye patch in one, you got bullets in one, you got a jacket in one. It's like
that was like a cubby worth of
if
stuff.
They found it, they would but if they found one, or if they opened up one, they would only find one thing. They wouldn't find everything else.
So is the jacket that's like important? The eye patch?
Maybe.
Yeah. I mean, it's the Fury.
he should have taken a page out of Frank Castle's book and had like a full-on arsenal.
Yeah, all I can think, Terminator 3, when they go to rob Sarah Connor's grave and they pull out that casket and it's just full of guns and stuff. It's like, that's what it should have been.
What was it, Men in Black, where he just hits the button in this random family's apartment?
Yeah, the whole back wall opens up. Yeah. Anyway. But, yeah, it's then we get Fury finally we get him in his how did Luke used to put this? We get him in his costume, the way he's supposed to, the way we know him and we love him. Long black trench coat, shaved head, Eye Patch, he's ready to go to war.
And like as I said last time I appeared on the show, I think what was it after episode 3?
Possibly.
I was kind of wondering what they were doing with Fury's character because I was like, come on, man, you're Nick Fury. Why are you acting like sad grandpa? And the lock and load scene, it was kind of like, all right, he's back. We're gonna get Fury back. And so I was even though it was like not even enough things to fill a cubby, taking up like several individual
3 or 4 cubbies,
parcels. It was still a nice scene to see because it was like, all right, he's not sad grandpa, he's Nick Fury, he's back.
Yeah.
Well, I
Dramatic
think
effect,
he was
yes.
dealing with some sort of PTSD after being snapped and then blipped back, and
But I
know,
didn't buy
And they
that.
touched
happened.
on
He
that a
lost
little
a lot
bit.
of friends, and
But I didn't buy
know.
that either because when he got snapped in that, and even when they flash back to it, it wasn't like a sad mother Tucker. He was kind of like, oh man, and he was just kind of mad.
Yeah.
I don't think like he's Nick Fury. He doesn't get traumatized. That was a Monday.
Avocoda is online. Why did the eye patch need to be hidden in a grave?
maybe it's a special one.
I'm thinking, or whatever those things are called. So my thought on this is that, do you remember the scene in the first Austin Powers movie where they're sitting around, they're playing blackjack, and number 2 is there, and he's got his eye patch on, and he's looking, and it does like an X-ray vision thing to see the card. I think it's something like that. Nick's eye patch probably has something in it, like a heads-up display or something. Maybe he's linked to Edith through the eye patch. Something like that. So that's my thought.
See,
And if I'm wrong, well, at least it sounds cool.
maybe it was just of sentimental value, and he was moving around so much, he just wanted to keep it in a safe spot. And Finland is probably the safest place for it.
He's got all these graves all over the place, and I'm sure each and every one of them
Has an eye patch.
that.
Has a jacket, an eye patch, and a gun.
Yep.
And in case he gets gravely injured, David Hasselhoff to fill in for him.
Yeah, no. No. Oh, God. I saw part of that the other day.
So bad.
I was looking through YouTube or something, and I saw part of it, and I was like, "Oh, this is like Dolph Lundgren Punisher bad. This is like really, really bad. This is Matt Salinger Captain America bad."
That's like something where if my daughter becomes interested in comics, I'm gonna buy that on DVD, and I'm gonna be like, you know what? You're gonna behave in school. It will go on.
Go watch
will.
this.
I will put it on, and I will watch it with you, and we will both suffer.
I did mine like with Luke. We watched the Mario Brothers movie, and I'm not talking about the one that just came out.
Yeah,
we watched the Bob Hoskins, John Leguizamo turd, and the only reason we watched it was because Luke was into Mario at the time, and he was playing his Nintendo Switch everywhere. And look, a Mario movie, and it's like, yeah, it is a Mario movie. Let's watch this.
And that's how he became a Sonic the Hedgehog fan.
And he was like, wow, that was really bad. And he was a kid too. So, kids know good from bad, and sometimes they won't say anything. They'll just be excited because it's Mario in the movie, but that was horrible. Yeah, it was.
Because I was about 8 years old when that came out. Because that was 93, 92.
I have no idea.
And I'm watching this movie, and it's like, even as a kid, I'm like, how do you miss the mark this bad on a Super Mario Brothers movie?
That was we need to cash in on this property while it's hot, because we don't know if it's going to be around for as long as it needs to.
So let's take a bunch of LSD.
Well, either that, or it was a Ninja Turtles has come out. The Ninja Turtle movie has come out, and it's hand over fist making money. So what's another property that we can use to hand over fist make money? And oh yeah, of course, Mario Brothers. And then they just threw a bunch of crap together and said, "Hey, it looks fine. It looks fine. Don't worry about it. Kids will love it. Kids will love it." And then kids are looking at it going,
Good.
"What did you do?"
Last time we involved Timothy Leary in on the writing process.
So it was great casting of Bob Hoskins. Okay, maybe I like John Leguizamo, so yeah. But the movie was not great. No, it was not. I give John Leguizamo a thumbs up on that one. Yes, he was good as Luigi.
I mean, I'm a huge Dennis Miller fan, but you kind of have to acknowledge his mistake with Bordello of Blood too. So
Ugh. I saw that one in the theaters just to see the trailer for Phantom Menace. Oh no! I'm sorry. I had to go see the trailer. I had to see the trailer for special editions when the special editions were coming out. Not the Phantom Menace. What am I, crazy? Anyway, all right, Debbie. Did we miss anything? You doing good?
The guy on the plane.
The guy.
Do we recognize him? Nick Fury gets on the plane.
Oh, the guy that was like,
yeah, that's the one thing that confused me.
"Hey, I got this for you. I don't know if you need it or not." Blah blah blah. It was like
Black
he
Widow
knew
movie?
it. Was he?
He was Natasha's travel person, the one that always got her
Yeah,
ID and everything.
yeah. I'm gonna have to go back and rewatch that movie now. I don't want to, but I'm gonna have to.
Yeah, that's who it was. I believe his name is Mason or something like that.
Wow, I didn't even catch that. That's awesome.
That's why you have me.
That's why I have you. You remind me of things that I needed to be reminded of.
Oh, and as Nick is walking out of the mausoleum, I assume he put in an earpiece because he says, "Get ready, it's time." And I'm
I don't
like,
think
"Who the hell-
Maria's dead. I honestly
who the hell's
don't.
he talking to?"
I really don't think she's dead. She has had a guest credit on every episode so far,
Mhm.
and she died in the first episode. But she's had a guest credit now. If it's just one of those ones, because I think
Well, she was on TV.
she was on TV. She was, and then in a couple of episodes, they've showed the clip of Nick shooting her. Nick shooting her,
Gravik.
and yeah.
Yeah.
So
Is
I
he
don't
talking
know.
to Carol Danvers? Somebody on the ship, the sword ship?
Monica Rambeau. The Skrulls have Rhodey. Maybe Rhodey is still out there, or maybe he has freed Rhodey at some point,
That's true.
and we can get War Machine in this one.
Ambrose, your microphone's off. You're on mute.
Sorry, I did that by accident. I think I was wondering. I was like, I keep trying to say something. I think legally they
We
have
blocked
to.
you.
I think legally they have to credit Colby Smulders because her
They
likeness.
using the image and
What?
likeness.
But I still don't think it's out of the realm of possibility because that could be a Nick Fury gotcha. That could be a. Actually, I was one step ahead of you the whole time, Gravik.
Right.
Like so.
Even when he talks to Gravik too, it's really good. He says, "I thought you were always one step ahead of me. Oh, I need rocket shoes to keep ahead of you. You're moving too fast."
Yeah, I think Fury's rope-a-doping him. I think he's got.
I think he's taunting him, saying, "Okay, go ahead. Let's see what happens."
Oh, he says, "It's time. Let's finish this." That's what he says. I knew I wrote it down somewhere. I had to turn the page.
I think legally too, they have to pay Robert Downey Jr. for this as well, just because they probably have to pay him for everything Avengers. It was in his contract. They have to pay him every time he shows up at Disney to use the toilet.
I mean, it could be not because if he writes his contract well enough, he had a good enough agent, and not Iron Man, War Machine is an agent of Iron Man, and if there's any allusion to the movie, he might be paid for it.
Yeah, maybe.
So, That's
Always a nice thought. Always a nice thought.
man. I wish I could just make money to do nothing.
You and me both. I'd love to sit at home and you're using my likeness again. Good residual check. I'm loving it.
2 pennies.
2 cents.
2 cents.
I'll take my 2 cents.
It's all right. I can eat. I got the McDonald's app.
That's right. Okay, so let's see. Anything else, Debbie? Did we catch anything else? Did we miss anything else?
No. I mean, when he's talking to Sonya in the car, he's telling her about the collectors and that they basically collected the blood during Endgame.
Right.
Well, he called it the Battle of Earth, but.
And actually, I was thinking about that through the course of the show because you guys asked why, and I think it was, he collected the blood because if he doesn't do it, someone else is going to. So I think it was kind of like a cleanup crew. There's that too. So
right. Let's see. Oh, look, there's Andrew. He's on. Hey, Andrew, how's it going? Let's see. What does he say? Become an armed guard for a warehouse, then it's the same thing. You get paid for nothing. Actually, you know what? I think my brother does that. I think he works for Sig Sauer, and he sits in a guard booth all day. Eight to 10 hours a day. Sit in a booth. Check people's IDs. Anyway. Okay, so shameless plugs. We got any shameless plugs this week, Debbie?
Thursday night we'll be back for Cantina Happy Hour episode 7.
6 or 7?
6. My bad. The Prisoner.
Not my favorite episode, but it's got Bill Burr in it, so it's.
I wasn't a stormtrooper.
We'll get into that Thursday why I don't like this episode, but this is of all the episodes of season 1, this is not my favorite one. So it had a few good things in it that redeemed it, but it's still not my favorite.
I'm wrapping up Rebels, so next time you guys come around to that on Cantina Happy Hour, I would love to discuss.
We haven't done Rebels really, have we? We've done some of the story arcs from Clone Wars, but we haven't done Rebels. That might be an idea.
I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, Dana has another episode of Sith Dominion coming out tomorrow.
I think
correct?
Tomorrow with Kat is Kat's been promoting it so much I forgot what exactly she said. I think we have 2.
Kat, if you're watching, jump in and let us know.
We have 2 of his episodes up now. He pre-recorded 2, and I think his live
3 up.
3 up. Okay, my mistake, Kat. Don't beat me. We have 3 episodes up, and I think his live debut is tomorrow.
The first 3 episodes, I haven't listened to the second or third one, but the first 3 have been really good. They're not really long. They're like 20-30 minutes, and it's the kind of thing too you can just turn it on and listen it to your headphones while you're working or doing whatever. They're really good shows.
And it's kind of like a fresh take because not too many people do podcasts from the Sith perspective. So he's doing it's kind of an interesting
and he
take.
Applies it to the real world.
And if you don't know Dana was on our show. He was on our Cantina Happy Hour. He has been a guest on Cantina Happy Hour before, so there you go. Anything else? Geek Gauntlet Saturday night?
Geek Gauntlet Saturday night, 10 p.m. I reviewed the Barbie movie. Barbie movie review is available on the site geeknewsnow.net. Coincidentally, I could not take Gravik seriously after seeing the Barbie movie.
I'm gonna assume that Gravik was not Gravik,
The
but
Barbie.
the actor was in Barbie.
Yeah, he was
Mm.
like a beta Ken. He was like a Ken that was trying to be cool to all the other Kens, and now it's like, oh man, that's Gravik. This is gonna ruin the finale for me.
Nice. My wife
So-
actually asked me. She saw a commercial for it when I came home from work. She said, do you want to go see the Barbie movie? And I was like, actually, I kind of do. And she said, oh, that's not the answer I was expecting from you. What?
Yeah, I'll wait for it to hit streaming. I have no interest in it.
Well, in the Barbie movie's defense too, I'm really getting mad at people that are getting mad at it, because for years people have been saying, why do you have to bring feminism into Star Wars? Get your own thing. And then people went and got their own thing, and now it's like, how dare you make this movie?
Yeah.
It's like,
My daughter went and seen it today, and she really liked it. She said it was funny. So I preferred Oppenheimer myself, but
I haven't seen that one. I still haven't even
No.
seen it. I still haven't even seen Indiana Jones yet. How about that? You're gonna smack me in the
Oppenheimer was
face now.
great. Great.
I watched it, so you don't have to, Dave.
Well, I know I want to. Don't get me wrong. I want to. It's just a matter of finding the time to do so.
Mhm.
So anyway, maybe one of these days. Geek Gauntlet, Sith Dominion, Cantina Happy Hour, MCU Mondays. Next week will season finale of
Secret
Secret
Invasion.
Invasion. Maybe I'll have the comic book read by then, so I can say, "Oh, comic book was so much better than the movie was," or vice versa. Who knows? A lot of stuff, a lot of great articles and whatnot on geeknewsnow.net. Go check us out on our thing. Go on all the socials: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Are they still doing Twitch there, John?
We are, but it's very, very disjointed right now. I'm gonna have to talk to Hal. I actually had a hand in that, and I just my Streamlabs crapped out, and I stopped posting regularly, and it became disjointed. So I'm probably gonna talk to Hal and see what we can do to get that back on track, because I think everybody just went in a separate direction, and nothing really gelled. So we're gonna try.
Gotcha.
We have Twitch accounts, but we have to sit down and do a schedule and actually, commit. So
Right.
yeah.
So, and you can find our players on Twitch. GNN usually precedes their handle, right?
Yeah.
Does it precede?
Yeah. Usually, all of us have Geek News Now. Like I am, my handle is Ambrose is Geeky. There'll be a Geek News Now or GNN underscore before that. So most of us have. Search for GNN. You'll find probably about 6 or 7 of us, with the exception of Retro and Wolf.
Gotcha. So, Twitter, Twitch, hit the smash the like button and the follow button and the subscribe button so you can see all of this amazing content. Check out geeknewsnow.net. A lot of good stuff going on over there. A lot of articles being put out. Johnny Lynch was on. He's one of our authors. Andrew was on. He's one of the authors. They're always cranking out good stuff. Again, all the podcasts, all the shows, we got everything. We got a little bit of everything. So that being said, we did have a winner for our Mandalorian giveaway too, and I've got that, but I don't have the person's name. He hasn't reached out and contacted me, but we do have a winner. So thank all of you Geek News Now people that entered our Mandalorian drawing. I think we're gonna call it a night.
Oh, and if you do follow us on YouTube, please don't forget to hit the subscribe button. A lot of stuff gets washed away in YouTube. If you like the content, please subscribe to us so you know exactly when we're on and when we drop some new stuff.
GNN Official is the new YouTube page. So that being said, y'all all have a great week. We will see you all next week and have fun. We'll see you then. Bye.